Hello. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nadia Adam. I'm a Vedic astrologer and psychic medium. So today we are going to talk about the energy update between 17th of June until 29th of June. All right. That's meaning within 1 week period. As usual, I will divide my explanation into several parts, and the timestamp will be in description box, along with my personal details if you're interested to book a personal reading with me. Okay, so this week we're gonna have two main major events going on here, all right? Number one, we're going to witness something we call as a Kala Sarpa, okay, which I'm going to explain right now. And then another thing here, Mercury will be entering the sign of Cancer, okay? All right. So let us talk first about the Kala Sarpa that's going on. It's been occurring since you can say 17 or 16 of June, and it will be there until 29th, all right, or 30 of June. Okay, so that's mean you can say for the next 2 weeks period. How you can identify and see the Kala Sarpa? When you have a Rahu, I mean when the planets actually being hammered into one section from the Rahu and Ketu, we call it as a Kala Sarpa. Okay, so that's mean all the planets are falling into the axis of Rahu and Ketu. Therefore, Rahu and Ketu is the highest degree in the constellation. Okay, so for example, right now it's 18th of June. For example, let's say Moon will be here somewhere in Pisces, right? So Rahu here will be still in 28 degree. So let me put it in this way. Okay. So let's assume Moon is already here, okay, in after 2 days, and then Rahu here will be 28 degree, okay, and then Ketu here definitely will be higher degree than Mars, right? It will be still also in 28 degree because Mars here is 6 degree only. You see that as if that all the planet will be under the domain of Rahu Ketu, that the highest of the degree here in the chart as overall will be a Rahu Ketu. Therefore, it shows that the planet all will be under influence of the Rahu Ketu axis. Okay, so this is what we can call it as a Kala Sarpa. Of course, in natal chart, a lot of people we will have this type of combination. All right. If let's say, for example, Nadia, what if Moon is a bit outside or Mars is a bit outside here? Okay, it's not exactly there, but still is in the domain of Rahu Ketu from this side or this side. You can have a bit of very basic combination of Kala Sarpa. Okay, there is another combination also called as Kala Amrit. Okay, which is we will count it actually from K2. We will talk about it in another day. Okay, it's gonna be complicated, but let's talk about this upcoming 2 weeks. Okay, of the Kala Sarpa which is going on. I usually will love to divide the chart into two sections like this. Okay, so I will usually call this section I make between 12th house and 5th house. This part usually called as internal parts in our chart. That's mean it shows our personality, behavior, our childhood, education, the basic one, our home. Okay, so everything that related to internal aspect of the soul will be in this section in your chart. All right. So if let's say, for example, you want to know if the person is introvert or extrovert, okay, you divide the chart like this. If it's in this section, most of the planet is more into this half. That means they are introvert because this section is all related to the soul. And if let's say the planet is fall into this section, this part, that means they are extrovert or they are good in dealing with people or they may have some sort of fame. So now what it has to do with whatever going on. If I make the Lagna here as a Kalapusha, which is Aries, right? So that means all the planet will be in the soul section here. Number one, what we can see, this is indicate a soul revolution. That means we all as a human being collectively, we will start to shift our mindset and think in different way because of the aspect of Rahu Ketu here. Regardless of wherever your Rahu Ketu is, you start to think, feel, and sense things in very different way. um it just there can be some uneasiness actually in upcoming period. All of us, we will feel it in some aspect in our life. Of course, some people may have it very heavy. Some people may feel it as torturing, suffocating. I'm stuck, I'm unable to do this, I'm unable to do that. It's just gonna be a lot of negative pattern here going on in mental and emotional state. But there will be another people who somehow somewhere will be able to manage that. So the people who are able to manage that, usually who are like kind of, you can say, more spiritually aware of whatever going on. Okay, so how you can control this energy is via spiritual practices and religious practices. The more that you pray, the more that you try to calm down, the more that you put some conscious from whatever going on right now, it's actually a temporary situation, all right? Then I believe you will be absolutely doing fine. But it shows people mentally and emotionally will feel very much deteriorating. Anger issues and problems will start to show up, all right? Frustration, a breakup in marriage, divorces will start to increase, accidents, all right? Especially, I mentioned a lot on my post about Rahu, Ketu and Mars here. So related to fire, right? What we can see here, war going on, it's all fire, people dying with fire, unfortunately. But this type of incident will start to come up over and over again, and this is can shows also a karmic cycle being ending and opening up. So somehow somewhere there is like elevation in the state of earth vibrationally. Maybe we're still unable to see or the outcome of this transition, but definitely we will start to kind of grasp into it in upcoming few months. Okay, especially when the eclipse happen in the sign of Ketu, which is Leo. Okay, so vibrationally, you will feel that I feel I'm misaligned or people are misaligned. Anger issues, number two, anger issues will be very common. Okay, ending things or death in whatever format it is. It could be changing your job, could be relationship, could be toxic marriage, could be friendship, whatever it is. All of this pattern will start to die, or maybe it will be aspect within us that it's going to die and we are revoluting as a person. Okay, so your perspective, your view, your energy will somehow some way change during this period. Okay, now on the middle of all of this Kala Sarpa thing, okay, we can see here that the sign of Cancer, I always emphasize that sign of Cancer is one of the most important house in your chart, wherever Cancer is, because it will give you mental and emotional peace. The more that you try to stabilize the Cancer house in your chart, the more peace, calmness, and as overall, generally, you will feel more stable. Okay, because it's ruled by Moon, and Moon is our emotion and our mind. When our mind and my emotion is settled, other things will start to settle. If my mind and emotion is not good, that means it will reflect again of towards my energy. Therefore, my action behavior will be unsettled. You can see Cancer here, it's hammered. You see Jupiter, Sun, and Mercury in other side, and then we have Ketu, Mars in other side. True, Nadia, Jupiter, Sun, Mercury relatively is quite a good sign, right? True enough, it's just only Ketu and Mars. Fair point. But just the fact that this sign is being hammered from the heaven and hell, you can say, if you want to consider this as a good and this is a bad combination, this is can be quite torturing for Cancer. This is pretty much like a papkartiyog, but it's indirect way. But we all feeling it to some extent. Now, who gonna feel it the most? Definitely people who having Cancer as their lagna, as their moon, or if you are going through dasha antra dasha of the planet that sits in the Cancer, definitely you will feel something. It's just not right in my life. Okay, or it can show us insecurities, or even though life can be very perfectly fine, I have no issues, no problem, no disturbance, but there is always a sense of feeling discomfort. There is always that sense. Okay, however, all of this thing will start to fade away when Mercury moves to the sign of Cancer, which is, one second, let me change the date here, which going to be around 22nd of June. There we go. Okay. So that's mean in the next few days. Okay. No, the 22nd. Let me just change the timing here then. Uh, okay, still there. Okay, 23rd. Let me try here. Here we go. All right. Okay, so on the 23rd, okay, 22nd or 23rd, depend on your location, then only maybe you will feel a bit lighter, a bit calmer when it comes to the house related to your Cancer because Mercury will be there. So that's mean if let's say there are many things in your mind that been bugging your love, all right, around this period, these days, concerning you, just that I really don't know why I'm comfortable, but I'm not comfortable. I feel like irritated, restless, da da da, and all of this thing, but I'm unable to speak it out. Maybe when Mercury moves to the Cancer now, it will give some sort of relief or at least some courage or power, all right, for us to speak up about it. So you'll find people becoming calmer, much more tangible, much more in peace. Perhaps whatever war that is going on right now, okay, it will start to get into a bit of calmer state or at least like a period of just okay, let us talk about it, like a diplomatic kind of solution will start to show up once Mercury here move to sign of Mercury, sorry, Mercury move to sign of Cancer. Okay, so because actually Cancer is ruling the land, right, land and countries, it's naturally there. So when Mercury comes, that means there will be some diplomacy or some other alternative options we're going to show up here. Mercury in Cancer. So usually it doesn't really feel comfortable in water sign because Mercury is a planet of logic, common sense, right? For it to be in Cancer, so it can become a bit emotional, a bit disoriented, but it will excel into other things, such as again getting into agreement, reading people mind, right? Let's say for example creativity, art, people who has such placement, they are very good in counseling, all right, convincing, closing deals, but in a very slow tone and manner, because Cancer here is a very soft sign. So Mercury here will start to become very soft and read the person and try to get whatever it wants and maybe manipulate the person via emotion and mind. Okay, this is such a relief finally. Okay, after whatever this Kala Sarpa thing. True, the Kala Sarpa still performing around this period, but at least the Cancer here will be quite occupied with Mercury. Therefore, the pressure will be a bit lesser. Okay, so yeah, the most people who gonna feel this definitely who have a strong Leo, Aquarius energy, right? Whether is your lagna, your moon, or your dasha, antradasha planet actually sits in this placement, you may feel it, or even Rahu Ketu itself. Okay, you will definitely feel that's okay, something just like not right with me. Okay, and also the sign of Cancer, whomever have a domination of Cancer, all right? As again your lagna, your moon, or if you are going through dasha, antradasha of the planet sits in the sign of Cancer. Okay. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening. Wishing you all the best. Stay good and be good. See you soon. Bye bye.